Hello, Flexera customers. My name is Jason Patterson, and I am part of the North America Executive Advisory Team at Flexera. And I am excited to talk to you today about one of the foundational elements that I believe that should exist in every IT asset management program, no matter the size of your organization or the breadth of your ITAM program. And that's the aspect of an IT asset management control book. Some people may call it a run book. The foundational element of a control book should consist of recording not only the process flows of your organization of how you maintain the IT asset management lifecycle from request all the way through disposal, but as well as the RACIs and the policies and the work instructions and all elements of how your organization maintains, controls, and optimizes your licensing environment. This is a foundational element that has served me really, really well across all of the implementations that I've ever done across the IT asset management landscape, dating back over 20 years ago. I've developed this as a foundational element to progress your program. I firmly believe that you cannot optimize a process until you write it down. And every organization on the planet that procures and uses software has a process of how they do it. But I find a lot of organizations have not taken the steps to write that down so that they can improve on those processes. And like I said before, it is such a foundational element. Now that I've explained the importance of a control book, what we wanted to do was really share some examples and a template to your organization that we've honed over the many years of helping customers solve this problem. So accompanying this video is the template of a control book. You can develop your own style of it, but this particular style of control book we wanted to explain so that we can really give you a jump start in developing your own version of this. So the control book itself, as I mentioned, is an element of all those foundational parts of that program, as I mentioned before, around the processes and the workflows and the RACIs. And what you do is you start to record all of that information down and provide links within the document and really let it become your ITAM Bible, so to speak, for the organization. Within the template itself, we have given a lot of recommendations of the process areas, how you go about recording them in the different phases as you develop your program. And remember, it's just a template. It's just an outline of how you can enable this within your program, and so that you can develop your own and really optimize it. And you will find that as you expand your program and bring different people into the organization, they will use this as not only part of their training, but in their day-to-day work. And one of the mantras that I've always had among the ITAM programs that I've been a part of is that if you encounter something in your daily work as an IT asset management team member that is not recorded in the control book, it's then on you to record it and add it so that all of the IT asset managers can benefit from it. So now that you understand those foundational elements and you've had a chance to take a look at the template, I wanted to explain some of the methodology of how to go about recording it. And what we do is that we record it from a basis that starts with the IT asset management lifecycle. That's, as I mentioned before, from request all the way through disposal. And some of the areas that you could potentially include not only your software asset management and your hardware asset management processes, but also including everything from your finance and governance teams to procurement, your internal audit findings, any external audit response process that you have, as well as a place to record all of your historical reporting. There's another video that I've put together that is all around the AMRs, or the asset management reviews, and that's snapping the chalk line of all of the important data and reports that you'll pass to your stakeholders. The control book is a perfect place for you to start recording those details month by month and quarter by quarter so that you have them from a historical basis, and you will see that you will always go back to those, especially in any external audit event, so that you can show those organizations that you have a process for maintaining those license compliance positions, and that you've got the historical records of how your organization has performed, as well as everything around your data sources and your tools. It's really important to record those. As I mentioned, that this should be something that should be recorded and established. It should be updated quarterly. It should be used as the single reference point for all of the IT asset management organization. And it really is around that business practice of managing and optimizing that purchase, consumption, and governance, and the utilization and disposal of everything hardware and software. That's the foundational element of an IT asset management control book. So as I mentioned before, I start everything in a control book with the technology asset lifecycle. And that's what I call your level 0. Think of it as the highest level of the organization of that technology asset lifecycle from request all the way through disposal. And really what you're doing is I call this your level 0, the highest level. And then from there you go deeper down to level 1 and level 2, and I'll explain in a moment how you go about recording those. But this asset management lifecycle, as I mentioned, is the highest level, and it's got to be something that the control book is recording not only those processes and the policies and the data and the work instructions for the people as that wrapper around everything IT asset. In some instances, all you will need is a level 0 or level 1 to record that particular process in the work instruction, but in others you'll need to go deeper. So let me explain to you how you go about recording them. Within the IT asset management lifecycle, as we break it down, we could pick a particular area. Let's say we just start with request, something that tips off the original injection of the IT asset, and that as you go down to the process flow levels, that as you notice that at the highest level, it's at the level 0, and at the level 1, it would be a global process, as an example, in this to cover something that would cover all requests globally within your organization. If you have the same process and the same work instructions for everything from that business need standpoint, well, then you never need to go deeper than level 1. But where it starts to get complicated is that where you might have a global process that the vast majority of the organization follows for a request in this example, might cover everything except a particular region or country or business division. And that's where you need to go lower and develop a second level process in order to cover, like in this example, there is a global process that's covered, but we needed to go deeper specifically into a level 3 process that covers everything for the European entities in this particular example. And what you might be thinking is, well, why wouldn't the one, if you need a particular process specifically for the Netherlands, why that wouldn't be a level 4? Most organizations will never ever have the need to go as deep as a level 4 process. That really the level 3 process goes deep enough, but you can have multiple level 3 processes. In this case, let's say there was a separate request and approval process to another specific country. You wouldn't have a level 4 and a level 5 as an example. You could have multiple level 3 processes. So what it's doing is it's starting at the macro level and going deeper down as you need to into the micro level. I hope that helps as you're building, all of those processes as you go deep within the organization. My suggestion, you start everything with level 0, go end to end on that, and then start to figure out where you need to start to deep dive within your level 1 and level 2. And this is something that is a marathon. It's not a sprint in this case. In the last program that I helped develop, we had developed an entire IT asset management control book over our first year of the program, and then kept developing it over the years. It can be done. It's an arduous task, but it is so important to record all of these pieces. And in this guidance that we'll share with you, that not only should you phase this out as you build your organization, but in a lot of cases you'll find that level 2 is absolutely deep enough to go. And as I mentioned before, generally you would never ever need extremely rare circumstances that you would need the existence of a deeper level process, but I've provided in the details here where those might come into case. This is taking a very Six Sigma approach to the IT asset management control book. And as I mentioned before, there is no one particular way of how an organization should record this. This is just an example of one methodology around this in order to record it, but do whatever works best for your organization, but definitely create something like this or something similar to record everything around the IT asset management lifecycle. I hope you have found this education to be very beneficial. And if you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to your Flexera representatives around the IT Asset Management Control Book, and look forward to meeting with you all. Thank you.